Tell me a little bit about yourself.
Myself. I'm basically started as a kind of a designer in product design.
Okay, graphic designer.
Yeah, kind of like that. We started out back when I was like 15, maybe, like entering the world of photography.
Yeah,
and then I turned more to design. Had a company in kind of liquor, so okay. I designed the bottles and beer cans and stuff like that.
Yeah,
but always have had a kind of a big interest in watches. So I started kind of on my free time, like developing or designing watches just for fun.
Not for sale, just for your own interest.
No, just for fun.
Yeah.
And nothing that I kind of put out there for anybody to see. And then when I was maybe 24, 25, me and my colleague Alexander, we were both studying at that time, and we were also running some other businesses. And we had said for a long time, because we're childhood friends, that we wanted to kind of do something together.
Yeah.
But we didn't really know what we wanted to do, but both of us had an interest in watches. He was into photography and I was into design. So kind of naively we started like, we should start a watch brand.
Yeah.
How hard can that be? Very hard.
So how long did it take you from conception to your first watch?
We started basically thinking about it maybe early 2014.
Okay.
And then we started out as a Kickstarter 2015.
Yeah.
And then the first deliveries of watches was 2016.
And what was your first watch? What's the first watch on Kickstarter?
Yeah, it was called the first 42. It was
it's the Panda.
Yeah, well, it wasn't the Panda at that time. It was kind of, we don't have any of them left here, I think.
Oh, okay.
But they were a Seiko VK64.
Yeah, Mecha Quartz movement.
Yeah, Mecha Quartz movement. Solid watch at that time, but we felt, as we gotten warmer in the clothes, that we wanted to do better, more exciting watches.
Okay.
So we wanted to go to like Swiss-made, mechanical, automatic only, but we had to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So it was a good place to start with that. And then in 2018 we did Blackwater.
Yeah.
Which was a project for the Swedish Sea Rescue Society, which is kind of they help out on water if people are in need of rescue.
It's like our Coast Guard, basically.
Basically, but not like military.
Okay.
But we did a project for them, so that was our first like mechanical watch. Did 300 pieces and sold out very quickly.
Now, your connection with them, did they know about the 42? Did they know about the first 42?
Not that much. We just kind of asked them if, are you interested in doing something with us, or basically can we do something for you and kind of do this concept and develop these watches and you get a piece of the profit?
Yeah.
Because they're a non-profit organization.
Okay.
So we wanted to help out, and we are both based in Gothenburg. Very much like we like to hang out on boats and kind of grew up on boats. So.
And how did that second release do in comparison to your first?
I think we were better, kind of had a better knowledge of how to get exposure at that point. In the beginning, we didn't know what we did kind of when it came to marketing.
Yeah.
So the Blackwater was our like the big watch that kind of got some exposure. From anything than like Facebook ads.
Okay.
So we started to get some exposure in Sweden and America as well. So that was kind of the first thing that started.
Would you say that the shellback was your first big success?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the one that sort of made you well known.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah, that was kind of, we saw a big difference from Blackwater to shellback. A lot of exposure in the US and in Asia as well. So yeah, definitely, and I think that was the first watch we did that was, I think it kind of put us on another level, both when it comes to the exposure and also the amount of details and the quality and the time put in to kind of develop it and really get it perfect, because that was also like in the COVID time. So we had a lot of time on our hands to do stuff that we didn't have the time before.
Yeah.
Because production was kind of slow, and we couldn't go to Switzerland to talk to our manufacturers and everything like that. So we had a lot of time to kind of think over the brand as well. So we did a bit of a rebrand, and what we used to say like Tuseno 2.0, basically. Yeah. So yeah, like you said, shellback is the next part, I would say.
Now, you said both yourself and Alexander had an interest in watches. So before Tuseno existed, what did you wear then?
I was into Microbrands.
Okay.
So I wore some Lumtex and stuff like that. Alexander was more into like Tag Heuer, maybe Longines, more
classic.
The classical
the
brands.
classic brands.
So none of us had like a lot of money and could wear like really high-end brands, but you know, kind of nerdy. Read everything that we could read, and had a like interest in watches. So
Okay.
yeah.
And of all your models, which are you most proud of?
I think shellback. I don't know why really, but I think kind of that's the design that speaks to me personally the most.
Okay.
And the one that I wear the most as well. So, but it's such a hard thing to say. I mean, most of the time it's the next project that you're working on that you're kind of into the most. But all in all, I think I have to say shellback.
Now, something I've personally noticed when it comes to your models, especially the later releases, your design language, unlike a lot of microbrands, where most things are sort of layers. Okay, so especially dials. Dials tend to be a layering effect. You start with the base of the dial and you move up from there. When you look at something like the Windseeker or the shellbacks, you always have a sublayer. So with the Windseeker, you have sort of like the engraved face. The shellback, you have, of course, the sandwich dial, right? The pancake dial.
Yeah.
So you have that. Is that something you are conscious about or just happened?
I think with shellback, I have always liked Panerai.
Okay.
And the sandwich dial construction that they use.
I love Panerai. I love Panerai.
But for me, I've had a hard time finding a sandwich watch that would work for me because I'm kind of small.
Because they're huge.
Yeah, it's big watches. but I like the sandwich dial, and I kind of thought that we have room to be a microbrand to create something really nice with the sandwich dial, because I don't think you have that much in that category. But no, I haven't thought about it that way. I think I want to kind of keep my designs quite clean, simple, but yet interesting.
Okay.
And with a lot of detail focus. But the leveling, not something that I thought about that way.
Yeah, you add additional depth by doing so, right?
Yeah, and I think you have to kind of work with layering. I mean, it's such a small thing, a watch, but it's also so detailed. So if you really put some attention to it, you can create something really nice.
Now, as your reputation has grown, as more and more people know who you are, and as the models have increased, I mean, you have, especially the newer models, they're Swiss movements.
Yep.
But not Swiss made.
Yes, they are Swiss made.
All of them?
Well, all the ones that we're working with now. Basically, the only one that wasn't was the first series.
First series.
They were not Swiss made, no. So you have very small.
You do have the very small.
Yeah.
So, do you think it's necessary to be taken seriously?
No, I don't think so. I mean, we have thought about maybe taking production or part of the production that we can to Sweden, but the cost of it is very high.
Okay.
So maybe in the future we can do some special projects, some special watches that will have to be kind of higher pricing, but that would be something nice to kind of have more production in Sweden.
Yeah.
Local and all of that, but I don't think it's necessary to be Swiss made. I mean, maybe people take it as a kind of stamp of like quality, but I think you can, as long as you are very thorough with who you work with, I think you can do the same quality basically anywhere. Yeah. But it's all part of like the people you work with. and the production you have and how thorough you are in quality checks and all of that. But for us, our Swiss partners have worked very, very well. So we like to work with them. And for now, we will continue to do that.
And which way do you work when it comes to your price point? Okay, so is this a matter of you start with an idea, and then as the parts are added, you come up with a price? Or do you have an idea of what you want the price point to be, and you work within those parameters?
We have done both. Of course, we want to do the best watch possible at the best price possible. Yeah. So we also want to keep it quite low and we don't want to go out of the water with the price. But I mean, you can have an idea. Okay, we would like to do a watch at this price. What can we do? And then sometimes when the design and the development cost and everything is like, okay, it's this much, we can't really do it at this price, we have to increase it $50 or whatever. Yeah. So you can have a general idea of what you want to produce, but it's not always that you will manage to do it. Yeah. So, yeah.
Now, are you familiar with the Wise Microbrand out of Thailand?
I know who they are, but I have never seen their watch in the flesh now.
Okay, I could have should have brought one, but they had their 15th anniversary just recently, and for their 15th anniversary, they did a watch based on a traditional design they already had, but they did a gold fill face dial. Okay, for their 15th anniversary. Then maybe 9 months after that, they announced their first watch of a design they already have, but the first one that has an 18 karat gold like bezel on it. Exotic materials. Is that something you've even considered?
I mean, we have considered it, and it would be fun, but
you don't think the market could support it? Is that?
I don't know. We haven't. I mean, we could check because we have quite close connection with some of our customers, and we can send out an email. But I don't think we're there quite yet. Okay. We have a partner who can supply us with parts in solid gold if we want to, but it's a high cost, and I think maybe that would be more of marketing than putting actual like watches with value that our customers would like. But it would be a fun project to do. So I don't know. Maybe in the future.
Okay. And I don't know if you know these numbers or not, but where do Tuseno watches sell best? What countries?
America.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's your primary market, really?
Yeah. With like, I think 70%.
Really?
And that really turned for us with shellback, because before that it was Sweden.
Yeah.
With like 70-80%. And then shellback, and all of a sudden it just shifted to the States.
Oh, okay.
So the States, and also parts of Asia like Singapore, Hong Kong are very big as well. And Sweden, of course, still. But I think the thing is that the States have kind of had microbrands for a longer time than Sweden. So people don't need to kind of know what is a microbrand.
They're not afraid of it.
No. Because they know that, okay, we will have a solid watch and
solid movement,
and hopefully great customer service as well with all the microbrands. So they're not kind of hesitant to trying out a microbrand. I don't think that Swedes are either, but it's just like the more microbrands out there, I think the more kind of easy it is to try one. And in Sweden we don't have that many, and it's kind of okay, I'll buy a Longines instead or something like that. So I think the market has to kind of grow into it a bit more here.
Now, Sweden, especially in the microbrand space, is developing its reputation of producing some very good watches, right? So, Tuseno with yourselves, you have Maine doing some great things out of there. You have Bravour, right? Again, somewhat unique, but still microbrand. Do you guys know each other, or no?
We don't know each other that well, but we met in a last year in a Swedish kind of watch fair for microbrands and other higher end brands as well. So we've talked a bit, but we're not like personal friends. I think Bravur is south of Sweden and Man is in Stockholm.
Yeah.
So it kind of, we only met a few times. But I think we'll meet at Stockholm again this year, and then in New York for Wind Up. We will go there as well. So.
Oh, you're going to be in New York?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right. Right on. All right, let's see some of these. Let's see some of these. Now, I'd say specifically the Windseeker, you have quite a few dial options.
Yeah, and you're missing out on the silver one, which isn't here, but you have the dial here. These are all the Windseeker dials that are available, but as of now, green and orange is not included in the pre-order.
Oh, okay.
We will have some restock.
That's what I want to see.
We will have them restocked, I think, late this year or early next year. But it's fun that this is a small. This is 39 millimeter. Shellback is 40.
Yeah.
But you often feel like this is a bigger watch than Shellback.
Because it's more dial,
yeah,
right?
It is. Yeah.
I don't know why it's coming. There we go. It's the wrong setting.
And this is not maybe the best light you have.
That's why I'm doing close-ups. I love the orange. I think that's awesome.
Yeah, thanks.
This is nice too.
And this is actually the blue one.
Yeah.
We wanted that to be kind of a royal blue,
Yeah.
like a very dark blue.
Yeah.
And then we got this, and it was like, this is not the color we like.
It's nice.
Checked it with the Pantone, and was
Yeah.
like, this is not the right one.
It's different
But we
on
was
the-
like, this is nice.
It's nice, yeah.
So
it's
we,
really
so,
nice.
so we actually,
Sometimes the mistakes are the best ones, right?
yeah.
That's cool, man.
So in the DLC and the white one, you have a very subtle, if you know our logo.
Oh, yeah.
Light on the dial, just above shellback. We have that printed with a kind of if the dial is matte, it's polished.
Yes.
So it's very, very hard to see, but sometimes, especially in the light, you're like,
It'll show up.
yeah, there's the star.
Oh, that's badass.
That's cool.
That's nice, man.
And the feel of the bracelet is kind of,
Yeah.
you kind of feel the DLC.
Yeah.
coating.
I love DLC coatings. Mito makes the 600, the
Yeah.
Ocean Star 600
Yeah.
DLC.
Yeah.
Very close to just buying it because it felt so cool, right? It's different though. This actually punches up more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, I mean, we trust our suppliers and partners that much that we can kind of start several projects at the same time.
Yes.
And that makes it a lot easier for us, and we can grow and hopefully become even better quite quickly. So.
Are you still 100% of the design?
Yeah.
Still just you?
Yeah.
So these are your babies,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be cruel.
no, honestly, I think you guys make fantastic watches. I like the designs you do.
I mean, in the beginning, it was tough to kind of finish a design because you always felt like
I can improve this, I can improve
something
that.
can be improved, but you kind of learn as well that you have to just let it fly, and then you can, I mean, release something, and then you also get a lot of help from customers.
Mm-hmm.
We love the watch, but we would like this, and we would like to see this, and we would like
Yeah.
to see that color, and that helps me as well.
Is that an important part of the process for
Yeah,
you?
yeah,
Yeah?
I mean, both that and we always ask customers for reviews and what did you like, what didn't you like, possible improvements, because I mean, especially since we're online only,
Yeah.
except for this, we don't hear what people say, and we want to know how can we improve.
Yeah.
So that is very important for us as well.
That's something I want to stress, actually, is that you can do this.
Yeah,
Any customer can book an appointment.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in Gothenburg, Sweden, you can book an appointment to see what they have to offer. You can pre-order a watch, find out when it'll be shipped here, and then come in, do a final inspection of that watch, that sort of thing, right? So that's all available through them. That's not something you get from 99% of the Microbrands.
No.
So that's an extra step.
And that was important for us both to have somewhere to sit and work, like our office, and a place where people can come in and feel and check the watches. And I know 99% won't come here because
Yeah.
a lot of them are in different parts of the world. But for them who have the chance, I think it's a nice touch. And
It's a personal
people
touch,
can
yeah.
feel the watches because
It's a huge difference.
It is.
Right?
It's hard
I
to
wouldn't
tell.
consider it
No.
until I put it on.
Yeah.
And then I said, wow, it's so much different from the rest.
Yeah.
That I kind of want it. Right? Right? So that's a huge help.
Yeah.
Right? Definitely. And Do you have a rough estimate of when your next design will be announced?
Our hopes was like April this year, but that didn't happen. So we hope to have.
You looking first quarter next year, second quarter next year?
We hope earlier than that. Maybe
Oh, maybe around Christmas.
I'm jinxing it now, but maybe. And we have something completely different.
Really?
Yeah, that's coming, but nothing to show, unfortunately.
So I shouldn't spend my money now. I should wait. That's what you're saying.
Depending on what I mean, it won't be a diver. It won't be a kind of sports steel.
Sports dress watch. Yeah.
It's something completely different. We haven't done anything like this before. So yeah, we'll see when that arrives.
Last question before we close this off, and then we can talk business. Of all the Microbrands, which one inspires you the most?
Hard. I mean, it depends on. Do you say that Christopher Ward is a microbrand?
I do.
I think they are. I think that's an inspiring journey they have done.
They're a microbrand that is becoming an independent.
Yeah,
but they are a microbrand.
Yeah, and I think that's a cool journey, and I like their products.
Yeah.
So I would say Chris Ward.
Okay, that makes sense. I mean, they were really a microbrand fully until the Bel Canto.
Yeah.
And then the Bel Canto changed the impression.
Yeah. And I mean, they were among the first as well. They have been doing this for quite a while, so I think it's a cool.
Well, if that's your inspiration, if you become that size, more power to you. I hope you call me.
Well, yeah.
Right? I hope you call me.
Yeah.
All right, a pleasure.
Thank
Pleasure
you.
to meet you, buddy. Thank you.